Christmas Eve arrived quietly, covered in soft white snow. The city looked beautiful, full of colorful lights and shining decorations. Every shop window showed Christmas trees, gifts, and smiling faces. Children held their parents' hands, laughing and pointing at the lights. Couples walked together, sharing warm drinks and warm smiles. It was a night full of joy for many people, but not for Adam. Adam lived in a very small rented room at the edge of the city. The room had one bed, one chair, and a small table. The walls were cold, and the heater did not work well. He worked long hours in a shop, but his salary was small. He had moved to the city for work, leaving his family behind in a faraway town. Over time, phone calls became less, and visits stopped. Slowly, loneliness became his only companion. That evening, Adam sat on his bed, holding a cheap cup of tea. He looked at the calendar on the wall. It said December 25th was tomorrow. Christmas. His heart felt heavy. He remembered how Christmas used to be when he was a child. His mother would wake up early and prepare food. The smell of fresh bread and warm soup filled the house. His father would decorate a small tree, not very big, but full of love. There were no expensive gifts, but there was laughter, hugs, and warmth. Adam closed his eyes. Those memories felt like a dream now. His parents were old, and life had taken everyone in different directions. He had promised himself that one day he would bring them to the city, give them a better life. But that day never came. Life became busy, hard, and silent. Outside, snow began to fall slowly. Adam stood up and went to the small window. He wiped the glass with his hand and looked outside. The street was alive. Cars passed by, people talked, music played somewhere far away. He felt like he was watching life from the outside, not being part of it. He put on his old coat and decided to go for a walk. Sitting alone in the room was too painful. As he walked, cold wind touched his face, but he did not mind. The cold outside felt better than the emptiness inside his heart. He passed a bakery where people were buying cakes and bread. He passed a toy shop where children were begging their parents for gifts. Every smile he saw made his heart feel heavier. He wondered why happiness felt so far away. After walking for some time, Adam reached a quiet area near a church. The church was decorated with simple lights. Soft music came from inside. Near the entrance, on the steps, sat an old man. The man wore thin clothes and had no gloves. His hands were shaking from the cold. His eyes looked tired, but calm. Adam slowed his steps. He looked at the old man and felt something move inside his heart. For a moment, he thought of walking away. He told himself he had little money and his own problems. But then he remembered his father. He remembered how his father once helped a stranger without thinking. Adam stopped. He took off his scarf, the only warm thing he had. He bent down and gently placed it around the old man's neck. The old man looked up, surprised. His eyes filled with tears. "Thank you, my son," he said softly. "You don't know how much this means to me." Adam smiled, a small, shy smile. He did not know what to say. He only nodded and stood up. As he walked away, something strange happened. His chest felt warm. His heart felt lighter. The loneliness did not disappear, but it felt smaller. For the first time that night, Adam felt that he mattered to someone. He continued walking, but now his steps were slower, calmer. The city lights did not feel so painful anymore. He realized that even in his sadness, he could bring comfort to another person. When he returned to his room, he lay on his bed and stared at the ceiling. The room was still cold, still small, still quiet. But inside Adam, something had changed. He thought about the old man's smile. It stayed in his mind like a small light. Adam whispered to himself, maybe Christmas is not about what we receive, but about what we give. With that thought, his eyes slowly closed. Outside, snow continued to fall. Inside, for the first time in a long while, Adam slept with a peaceful heart. Christmas morning arrived quietly, as if the city itself was tired from celebrating all night. The sky was pale, and fresh snow covered the streets like a soft white blanket. Adam opened his eyes slowly. For a moment, he forgot what day it was. Then he remembered. Christmas Day. He sat up on his bed and felt something strange inside his chest. It was not the heavy sadness he usually felt. It was softer, lighter, almost warm. He thought about the old man from the night before. The memory of his grateful eyes and gentle smile stayed with him. Adam placed his hand on his neck and realized his scarf was gone. Instead of feeling regret, he smiled faintly. That scarf had warmed someone who needed it more. That thought made him feel peaceful. Adam washed his face with cold water and got dressed. He did not have any special plans. Still, something inside him pushed him to step outside. He wanted to walk, to breathe the cold air again, to feel the day. The city was quieter now. Shops were closed. Streets were calm. The usual noise was gone, replaced by soft footsteps and distant church bells. As Adam walked, he noticed small things he had never noticed before. A bird sitting on a snowy branch. A child laughing while throwing snow at his father. An old couple walking slowly, holding hands. These simple scenes touched his heart. He realized that happiness was not always loud. Sometimes it was quiet and gentle. Without thinking, Adam found himself walking toward the church again. The same church where he had met the old man. The doors were open, and warm light came from inside. People were gathered, talking, laughing, sharing food. Adam stopped for a moment at the entrance. He felt nervous. He was not used to places like this anymore. He was used to being alone. Just then, he heard a familiar voice. "You came." Adam turned and saw the old man. He looked different now. His face was cleaner, and he was wearing a warm coat. The scarf Adam had given him was wrapped around his neck. The old man smiled warmly. "Because of you, I came here today," he said. "Your kindness reminded me that I am still human, still seen." Adam felt his eyes burn with tears. He did not expect his small action to mean so much. The old man gently touched Adam's shoulder and guided him inside. People welcomed Adam with smiles. Someone handed him a cup of warm soup. The smell alone made him feel comforted. They sat together on wooden benches. People shared simple stories about their lives. Some stories were happy, some were sad, but all were real. Adam listened quietly at first. Then, slowly, he began to speak too. He talked about his work, his small room, his parents far away. No one judged him. No one turned away. They listened. For the first time in many years, Adam felt accepted. He felt like he belonged somewhere. The loneliness that had lived inside him for so long began to fade. It did not disappear completely, but it lost its power. After the gathering, people went outside together. Snow was still falling softly. Laughter filled the air. Someone started singing a simple Christmas song. Adam joined in, his voice quiet but steady. He surprised himself. He had forgotten what it felt like to sing. The old man stood beside him and said, "Christmas did not bring you here by accident." Adam looked at him, confused. "It brought you back to yourself," the man continued. Adam thought about those words. He realized that for years, he had been surviving, not living. He had closed his heart to avoid pain, but in doing so, he had also closed it to joy. One small act of kindness had opened that door again. As the day came to an end, Adam walked back to his room. The city lights began to glow once more. His room was still small. His life was still difficult. Nothing had magically changed. But Adam had changed. He sat by the window and looked at the night sky. He took out his phone and wrote a message to his parents. Simple words. Loving words. Words he had been holding back for too long. When he pressed send, his heart felt lighter. Adam lay down and closed his eyes. This Christmas did not bring him money, gifts, or success. It brought him something far more important. It brought him hope.